I am so confused, and you should be too. It's Chris Denman live in St. Louis. Tommy has turned into a mid-20s black gentleman, and joined by joining new Tommy, better Tommy, upgraded Tommy, and Mr. Gardner, the producer. It's Jeremy Hellwig. He's from Fatal Bus Accident. They have their final show tomorrow night at the Heavy Anchor. You can get tickets online or show up at the. Damn it! He's at the Improv Shop Saturday night, and we'll have Jeremy tell you more about that in a second. What's up, Jeremy? Good to have you back.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I won't see you at the Heavy Anchor tomorrow. I'll see you.
You can see me at Heavy Anchor tonight.
Improv Shop.
That show. Is that the show you were talking
Yep,
about?
Humor versus Tumor.
Humor versus Tumor. Hopefully, Humor will win.
That's definitely. Like, how do we skirt this?
That's what we're rooting for. Yeah.
So, before
we're talking comedy contests are kind of a crapshoot, so you never know.
It's getting mixed up. So, real quick, Sam, why are you sitting in for this hour? I love having you in. I just saw a pouting 21-year-old leave the studio. Did you bully him into his spot?
No, I would, but I didn't have to. He
That's
was like, do you want to sit on for a second hour with Chris and Jeremy? I was like, do you not want to? He's like, you can do it. I was like, cool. I'm taking over now. I'm the new intern.
But it's never that, though. There's going to be a conversation and then a text message, and then something has done it.
Follow at Wu-Tang Sammy on Twitter for the updates on why Tommy's not actually in right now.
I forgot how good your Twitter handle is, and that just reminded me that Kenny Kynes' Twitter handle is Steely Ken because it's Steely Dan.
Good. It's so good.
And then yours is Wu-Tang Sammy, which
it's
is
also
the
my
same
cash
kind of
tag
thing, but
if
better.
anybody wants to send me anything.
Is that a thing? I see that more and more now where people are like, it's my birthday, and if you guys want to bless me, here's my cash. Would you ever send anyone $1?
No, but I definitely do it in hopes that someone would send it to me.
So it's just like
it's a crapshoot.
Nobody cares if you look like you're pandering anymore.
No,
right? Yeah.
No.
I mean, I've had like comics that I know that are out of town, and it's like their life is falling to shambles around them kind of thing. Where it's like, I'll chip in $5 so you're not on the street.
But if people say that,
no,
I would say like if people are like, hey, having a really rough time, if somebody could do this, I'll throw you some work or something.
Or
yeah.
In middle school and high school on your birthday. I don't know if you guys did this. This might have just been like a black thing. I don't know.
Cash App didn't exist.
Yes, but you would on your birthday you would clothespin a few dollars to your shirt, and then like people would like give you, like your friends would give you, oh hey, happy birthday, and then like kids you didn't know would like give you.
I've never heard of this before in my
life. It mostly worked for the girls. I'll be honest. It mostly worked for the girls. But everybody, and like I've seen people like even as an adult.
Why would you do that when your grandparents write you giant checks for your birthday?
Because your parents have to cash that check because you don't have a savings account yet, so you need this money to go straight to you.
Saying I was getting giant checks from my grandparents on my birthday. We've got Jeremy Hellwig.
We're in that banking industry.
Fatal Bus Accident again. Jeremy, Stryker, Amy, John. $10 at the door. Get your tickets ahead of time. It is going to sell it out. They pump this thing up every single time. Been doing it for 4 years now.
We did like a pilot in late 2015. And then since like I think January or February of 2016.
Now, how many people have you actually killed with a bus?
We haven't killed any. I thought you were going to say how many people have died on the show. And it's like, well, characters a lot. It's like it's a play basically where it's like we're hosting a show that's a talk show, but we're just so rude to like all of our guests. And it's like because sometimes like something like Comedy Bang Bang or whatever, like where it's this kooky guest comes in and then it's the host is kind of a straight man, but this is like it's more about us, and the guests just kind of like get added to that.
Right.
I guess
they're kind of like an overbearing house guest, almost like you invited them over, but you didn't really want them to accept. You were just being polite, but they just came on.
Or like it's like Stryker's like, oh, I really want this guy on the show, and then I'm just rude to him because I'm like, I'm better than him at that, or like whatever. Like our characters just have different like things they're terrible about. I don't know.
Everybody involved in the show is a stand-up comic. I feel like all of you have downshifted how many stand-up shows you do in the time you've done this, and I'm guessing you've told us probably on this show before, but how much time this kind of a show to truly execute takes up out of your life?
Oh, it's the last couple weeks. It's like I'm not going to any open mics. It's like this week we met every day except for Tuesday, I think. Because we got to make props, and like I put together this whole PowerPoint like that runs during the show, and like there's video, and John makes music, and then just writing the show takes like forever. Like this one, we were supposed to do this show back in like May, and there was a scheduling mishap, and so we pushed it back to July, and then it just fills the amount of time we have. Like we did so many rewrites, like just because there were problems with the script, and now I'm really happy with it. But it's like, oh wow, this took 4 months, and this is a rewrite of one of our like first episodes.
I'm so excited.
So it technically took like 5 months to do.
God. I have a question. Are you guys calling it Final Bus Accident?
We could have.
Fair question.
We're
Great
calling it the
question.
last show.
We're calling also it's your fucking show. It's not do your thing.
Yeah, we did Fatal Beach Accident
That
that
was a
time.
good
That we
one.
had. It was like a 60s beach movie with like a murder mystery on the beach. We did an adaptation of Beowulf, which was a lot of fun.
That was my first one that I went to.
Mhm.
I actually had a friend that had just moved up to St. Louis and was like, I'm not going to comedy. I remember your comedy from college. I'm not doing that. And then I got him to come to then I got him to come to Fatal Bus Accident.
That is
And-
such a thing for people that are starting comedy, doing comedy, and you see like Gary Goldman's Twitter, and then I listen to Dusty Slay's podcast where he's always giving people advice, and it's one of those things where it's like, I get it for you guys, like, make yourselves look good and bring 20 of your friends to your second open mic ever because they're going to cheer you on, you're going to do this, but you suck so bad compared to what you're going to in 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years of doing it, and it's like that is such a it's a weird it's a weird thing you got to deal
It's
with.
part of the ecosystem, though. It's like if the new comics aren't bringing out their friends, then like
The growing comics aren't getting exposure.
yeah, it's like well, there's certain like comedy fans. It's like Andy Knight and like Chris Ward and like there's like a bunch of people that come to a bunch of shows that don't do comedy. And they're great, but there's only so many of them in every city.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, we need to make some more of them by either starting open mics at new bars and ambushing regulars and hoping some of them like it, or
That's a great way to put it.
warfare.
That is such a good way to put
new
it.
comics drag all their friends to the show, and some of them go, "Oh, I like this," and stick around.
And that friend has now been to more Fatal Bus shows than I've been to.
Oh,
That's how
good.
He's hooked on it.
That's fantastic. So what are you going to do with your time after this? There's no way you guys are going to slow this down
Well,
or slow your creative
Stryker and
endeavors down.
Amy are working on some like movie making stuff with some people, and I'm gonna probably do some more like actually focusing on stand up for a little bit.
Nice.
But then like there's some other ideas. Like there's a character I really want to do for History Schmistery, and then there's another show in Indianapolis called Evening with the Authors, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna write this character and then do it at both of those. Like I've got some ideas that like I would sit down and outline, and I'd be like, oh, I should sit down and write this sometime. And then it's like, oh, crap, I have to memorize a script in the next 2 weeks.
Gardner,
So-
History Mystery, which he brought up, our buddy Christian Lawrence runs that. You do comedy as a historical figure. I need to know immediately, and I think I know. And they could be living or dead, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they can be made up sometimes.
Yeah, even made up.
They can
But
be adaptations.
who would
Yeah.
you do? Would you do Keith Morrison? Would you do stand up as Keith Morrison?
Well, he's more of a host though. He's
No,
kind
but
of-
you could do stand up as a host. You could do it. It's really anybody.
I did it as Arthur Ashe.
I did it as
Really?
William Jennings Bryant, and this new idea is doing it as, because it's like a time travel show, doing it as the Austrian police officer that kept shooting the time travelers that went back to kill Hitler.
Judging by the response you just got from 3 random people, I don't know if you should go through that. I don't know, man. That concept's a little too abstract.
Whew, I don't know. I if you give me that question, I would want to sit down and think about it.
Of course you would. You'd
See,
muse over it with a couple
Yeah,
menthols.
That's better than, because like that kind of show where there's a concept, a lot of people are like, ooh, me, I'll do it. And it's like, I want to wait till I have an idea. Like, because
I would want it to be
I'm not
good.
saying a lot of
Yeah.
it's bad, but like on that kind of show, you get a lot of people like the first couple
hard.
episodes where it's like, oh, you clearly like didn't really have an idea and you threw it together. Like
Yeah.
like if Helium has a new show where it's like, oh, you got a story tell about this, and people are like, ooh, this, and you're watching and you're like, the story doesn't really fit the theme. Like you just wanted to be on stage. What are you doing?
Like it wouldn't be a president or anything like that. I would want it to be something a little deeper, I think.
John Venegoni did Oppie the Mars rover. It was amazing.
Aaron Sawyer did the chess
Oh.
playing robot. Blue the chess playing
Yeah,
robot.
Deep Blue.
Deep Blue, yeah.
Deep Blue?
Pretty much. That's what.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who I would go with. I saw
Also an Arcade Fire song.
Oh, an arcade. I saw Gabe. I saw Gabe, who's been on the show 8 million times, do Abe Lincoln. He's tall, and that was funny.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways you can
Like
go
if
with
I
it.
could do Keith Morrison, but I mean he's still around though is the thing. Like it's probably someone that's passed that I would pick.
Chris Sear and J.C. Sabala did Magellan and a native of the
Oh.
island, and they did it like a team set.
I can deal with that. Again, we've got Jeremy Helwig in. You guys can get you've sold several of these out too. Like this, this isn't one of those like we're gonna sell it out and you show up and 7 people are there. It's gonna be packed.
It's been packed pretty much every time. We used to do it at the Heavy Anchor and it would pretty much be full every time. We used to do it at Heavy Anchor and it was once a month. Mm-hmm. So it was like I really was like barely doing stand up because it's like a couple days of thank God I'm done with that.
Right.
And then like a half a week later you're like, oh my God, I haven't started the next one. And then it's like, okay, we're working on it. And then it's, oh no, we need to rewrite the second half of this. And then it's, wait, we need to build props and memorize this. We have a week. So now it's like we've got more time.
So it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, it used to be a lot more chaotic. And now it's still really weird, but like it's a lot more polished, I think.
No, you get that with all those reps and all the work that you put into it. Quick reminder, everybody, St. Louis Counseling Services sponsors the show. They do a podcast here, Mental Health Matters, actually coming in to record one today. But if you're needing counseling services in the St. Louis area, they've been improving lives since 1955. They work with us. That means you support them. If you're in charge of a business, a school, anything that needs counseling services implemented, or you're an individual wanting to speak to a counselor, hit up stlouiscounseling.org online today. We've got Make It Racist here. That's Travis's segment where we throw out ridiculous topics that he simply can't make racist. I think Sam's got the chops that he can do that.
What's up?
He does qualify.
By
he
chops,
does qualify.
You mean he's allowed to play the game?
Correct. I mean, we could do Make It Country with me. I don't know. I think we stick with Make It Racist and go with Sam. How do you feel about that?
Let's do it. Make it racist.
We did
light.
Make It Feminist with Meredith.
Yeah.
She did great.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't mean to be overly supportive.
So, Sam, if you could intro it, all you have to do is go.
Act like an egotistical maniac that lives
Travis,
in Brooklyn right now.
And go, it's time for. Pause.
Okay.
Pause. Make it racist.
All right, okay.
You do something like that.
All right, now?
Yeah.
It's time for Make It Racist.
I'm undressing the white elephant in the room. I'm breaking down the barriers of race by assimilation.
I wouldn't mind to have black neighbors.
That is racist as hell. It's raining little white women. My prayers have been answered.
Black women have the nicest asses.
If that ain't the whitest thing a white man has ever whited in his life.
You do not have to say African American, just say black.
Oh, well, in that case, you know what word I miss? Colored.
Don't let the liberal media tell you how to think and feel. If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
I'm racist as hell.
That's deserved.
That's right.
Let's do it.
We throw out topics. Usually Travis Farrell makes them racist. Today it'll be Sam. You understand the general concept? I feel like you're going to do well with this.
You're gonna try to white savior some topic that you think is safe from the reaches, but I'm here to expose and bring that racism into the daylight. Racism creeps into the smallest and darkest corners of the world and thinks it's found its home base, but there's no home base.
That is racist as hell.
Damn. Wait, well said, Travis. Sam, I don't think there's any possible way you could make the city of St. Louis racist. It's not possible. It's not possible. It's a lob.
Do you understand? I was here for the Jason Stockley verdict.
Let's give him a softball start.
Don't coddle me.
I see plenty of black people here in the city. No way. That ain't racist, man.
It's literally the city where they decided that black people were not equal to white people. Do we remember a man named Dred Scott? Have we forgotten about the walking tour you can do through City Hall of the Dred Scott verdict? And the tour guide at the end is just like, and then they turned that man back into a slave. And he broke free to a free state that happened to be Missouri, which was the wrong free state.
It wasn't a free state.
It wasn't listen.
I think his owner, I guess, took him like on a trip to the north
from Missouri. Is that what it was? The trial was decided in St. Louis.
Yeah, the trial was in St. Louis, but they took him on a trip to the north, and then he was like, "Well, I'm free now," and then he was like, "No, you're not."
He broke free in a free state, and then St. Louis was like, get back here, and he fucking scorpioned him, get over here. And
that is racist as hell.
Wow. I didn't see it going that way, but
Well, I did.
good for you.
I didn't. I never thought someone would have to go that far back to find something racist in St. Louis.
Well, okay.
You're going to the beginning.
Yeah, we could talk about Jason Stockley, sure. But
I was gonna say, like, if I'm gonna play along and we're doing the pro wrestling thing where it's like, let's go back and forth. You don't knock me out when you come back at it. Okay?
Bow.
There is to add to just a little bit because you took it there, Sam. I went on a tour, a self-guided tour of Bellefontaine Cemetery once. There's a former mayor of St. Louis buried there.
By self-guided tour, you mean you were playing Pokemon Go?
No, the intern.
No,
creeped out of here.
Tommy's.
Did we decide what he sulked out of here about?
No.
Might be going to get some food now. Actually.
Oh, okay.
But there's actually a former mayor of St. Louis. I think he was like a 2-time mayor that had been jailed at one time for being a Confederate sympathizer, even and had been re-elected mayor. I think
After that.
Yes.
So he was elected. Thought he was a Confederate sympathizer.
Yeah, there's some weird
jailed,
story with him where
paroled, elected again.
like the guy was jailed for it.
The Grover Cleveland of St. Louis, basically, is what he was.
From the comments, Sean Bongard wants you to make Mary Poppins racist.
Give me, all right, because I hate the movie Mary Poppins. So I need just
Well, I mean, chimney sweeps, blackface. That seems like the most obvious. Way
yeah.
to go.
So all the struggling black
Open and shut
men
case.
in London that need to make a living for their family, and one of the few chimney sweep jobs is given to Dick Van Dyke. He already had his own goddamn TV show, but he's got to sweep chimneys too now. Whatever the hell the song is.
Wow.
Racist, yeah, Mary Poppins.
Oh yeah,
racist, and even in that
after each topic you say Mary Poppins. You're
Mary
racist
Poppins.
As hell.
You're racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
Thanks for blackening it up there on the racist as hell part too. Jeez.
That's racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
Anybody can get it. Who wants what?
Jeremy, you got one for him? He looks around the room.
That's what I do.
It's not I Spy.
That's how.
like
That's
soundproofing.
Don't act like you have to think about it.
Well, I gotta think of things that aren't obviously already racist.
How about Sam? Let's see. Comedy scenes. You can't make those racist.
Oh, you mean comedy scenes where you have the professional clubs and then you've got the urban rooms? Can we talk? Should we talk about? Remember, Jeremy? Tell us about your first urban show that you did for an urban crowd. Comedy scenes make themselves racist. I don't have to do it. Comedy scenes. Book me, but you're racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
But seriously, book me.
Yeah.
I'm available all of August.
Just for Mo Better Mondays everywhere. Gosh, man, that's a weird thing when you start chipping in. You're like, oh, this is extremely segmented within an entire thing. It's wild. You got one for him?
Oh, I was supposed to think while you're doing that.
The
airplanes.
Oh yeah.
Airplanes. Have you seen how they treated Kevin Hart at the beginning of Soul Plane?
No. Didn't
No.
cut-
Did you
didn't
not
cut-
see Soul Plane? That's racist.
Didn't
I'll
catch-
get back to you.
Didn't catch the
That
film.
is racist as hell.
Wait, other white guy in the room. Have you seen Soul Plane? 0 for 3, Sam.
So it's so bad, but it's so good, and it doesn't get enough. It's not. It should be talked about more as a bad
I
movie.
think the only thing I know about Soul Plane is that it failed at the box office because everybody bootlegged it. Like that's the only.
That's valid. It's racist as hell, but also valid. The third episode of Boondocks was about them going to see Soul Plane 2. So and everybody in the theater had a video camera recording.
How
I
many?
think I saw that episode.
How many rural white dudes have yelled at a bald black dude on a plane? Are you sick of these motherfucking things on this motherfucking plane? Like how
no.
many? I feel bad for every black dude ever who's had to deal with that. So.
Samuel Jackson owes us an apology. But
Samuel L. Jackson, you're racist as hell.
whoa,
right.
shit, Nick Fury's gonna come down.
Yeah, I guess maybe not. Airplanes are a way to make white people fly, says one of our listeners.
It's the only way white men can
everyone
jump.
fly.
Yeah, it's the only way white men can jump.
How about I'm gonna kind of piggyback off that. Space travel.
Space travel. I didn't see one black person in Interstellar. We'll go back to Interstellar. We were talking about first hour. Space
He
travel.
was one of the lead astronauts.
You damn right. That's on me. I'm racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
No, but space travel is just a way for white people to go find other planets to colonize and bring to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Thank
as
you.
partial credit to Denver
Thank you.
joke earlier.
Uh-huh.
But it's just so they can go ruin another group of cultures like they did Africa the original Americas. They just want it's just intergalactic genocide is all space travel.
Ooh,
Space travel.
Wow.
You're racist as hell.
Intergalactic Genocide is a good band name.
Hard Dibs called it.
Damn it.
You're my bass player.
Oh,
Speaking of space travel, the fatal bus accident tomorrow, our main guest we interview is the guy that NASA accidentally left on the moon. Ben Johnson is a guy that lived on the moon for 75 years.
Perfect person to play that. He's
Hell
very
yes,
funny
hell
too,
yes.
man.
Yeah, what are we coming up on? What anniversary is it? On July 20th?
50th.
50th?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we just say he's been up there for 75 years.
Don't overthink it.
Country concerts, summer country concerts.
Country
You can't make those races.
I've been to a Brad Paisley concert.
I bet
all right?
you
I
have.
won tickets. I was excited. We got to the show. Granted, to country concerts over rap concerts, they do start on time. I'll give them that.
Are there 17 people on stage screaming lyrics into mics?
Yes.
Oh,
No,
okay.
there's not at all.
Okay.
No, but we country concerts. It's have you been to a David Allen Coe show? That's really working all day for. I'm not gonna finish the line. You know what I'm talking about.
That is racist as hell.
Yeah.
There you go. Gardner, you got any more for Sam?
No, he just made me think of the. I did not know Illinois had 2 state fairs, apparently.
Oh, no.
They have one in Springfield and one in Du Quoin.
Yes.
And the one in Du Quoin had booked the band Confederate Railroad.
Confederate Railroad.
They canceled them. I guess not because of their name, but because they use the flag as part of their emblem.
Yeah. Confederate Railroad does it. Kid Rock still does it.
Because I saw Jamie Croc.
Is that photo of Mitch McConnell?
Yes, that one. Because I saw Jamie Croc point out, guys, we're the land of Lincoln.
Oh, man.
Oh no, I've been through. I had a girlfriend who lived in Carbondale. I've seen that. I've seen like haystacks designed into Confederate flags in Jackson County, Illinois. I know what's going on. Jackson County, Illinois. You're racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
I'm not paying that parking ticket.
Just because they're a free state or whatever during like leading up to the Civil War, it's like, well then Chicago's still like segregated and racist and stuff. Like it's like
Rahm Emmanuel, you're racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
Jussie Smollett.
Right.
Did I do it wrong?
Sorry, no, I was reflex. I forgot
Did I do it
who
wrong?
he was for a second. Because I don't watch Empire, so I forgot who he was for a
I've
second.
never
I
seen
assumed it was
Empire.
another Chicago official who I was gonna call racist as hell. Jesse's, I don't know.
I mean, he appropriated some racist emblems,
He,
allegedly.
yeah. People were talking about
I'm
that
not
the
here.
whole
I'm not
time.
here to black
That was the
shame my own
weirdest, that was the
people. I'm
weirdest
not-
thing ever.
Everyone was like dunking on him, and I'm like, you don't hire someone to beat you up unless there's something wrong with your brain. Like I feel bad for this guy.
That's a
No
good point.
kink shaming.
I don't know if he was into it.
Those are some big dudes too, man. Those are the guys that eventually slapped Tommy at the show. Yeah.
I thought you were going to call Chris racist for trying to get you to black shame.
He knows who he is. Look at that fucking
Yeah.
T-shirt.
There
knows
he
who
is. There he is. He's picked up Travis's role.
I'm really sorry that they cut your scenes from American History X. Also, it must have been hard for you to
My-
get to to work all those months and then
Right.
get to the theater. Guys, you wait for this curb stomp, and then it's Edward
so-
Norton instead of you.
Yeah, I'm so uncoordinated. I kept missing him whenever I would have to do the curb stomp. Yeah.
Is that how you hurt your ankle?
Yeah, the 70th time I rolled my ankle I was trying
Another
to curb
movie
stomp
we
somebody.
don't talk about enough. American History X is a fantastic movie. And-
Yeah.
But like people don't.
Oh, I talk about it. a
I'm
lot.
sure I know you know.
Just
you
the
talk
first,
about it in your
just
sleep.
the first
yeah,
half.
Yeah.
Just the first half.
The first 32 minutes.
I don't really
was
care
great.
for the ending. Yeah.
Here's a
I
test.
like the later stuff.
Here's a test. What's your favorite part of American History X?
Right. Well, the basketball game just really spoke to me. Yeah.
All right. That's all I needed to know.
The
Now I
fat
know.
bully from Boy Meets World trying to dunk on a bunch of black guys.
Oh my gosh, that was
Louis Lastic in here.
not one dunk in that game. Those guys he's hitting layups from 1957, and they're going to tell me he beat a group of black dudes. So I don't think so. No, that's not what we're. Do we have? Is it racist as hell? American History
American
X?
History X is, of course, racist as hell.
Okay.
He curb stomped a man for trying to steal a car stereo, and he got 3 years and did 13 months.
Well, is the movie racist or is the movie about racism?
Yes.
That is racist as hell.
Oh, that'll do it for Make It Racist. Big hand for
Yeah,
Sam.
nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Stay in New York, Trav.
Lots to get to. I do need to remind everybody that Gateway Powder Coating sponsors the show. You can check out gatewaypowdercoat.com for more information. If you have a smoker, any kind of metal furniture outside, don't let it look bad when you have people over. Check out gatewaypowdercoat.com. Fast, durable, affordable. They're here for you, and a great sponsor of We Are Live. Gardner, what do you have going on this weekend? I got to know. What part of St. Louis are you going to muse at and sit around and smoke by?
I'm actually was trying to figure that out this morning because, like
You
I
gonna go
mentioned,
kayaking?
I think so. I don't know what day yet though. I kind of like going right at sunset in Forest Park, so that's on the
I
docket.
love hearing sober activities. There's so much to.
I'm also
so much
trying to
thought into it. I'm like, man, I don't
took
care
my
what I'm
first
gonna do.
public bus ride on my vacation.
That's racist. as hell.
Really?
Yeah, so I took it up to North County to go visit my grandparents, and
That was a long ride, wasn't it?
it was under an hour. So I was I went.
What was your starting point?
I took electric scooter,
Okay.
Lime scooter from my apartment to the Cortex Metrolink
Okay.
station.
All right.
Okay.
Took the Metrolink from there to Hanley.
Mhm.
Caught the bus at Hanley. Took the bus, drove me through Ferguson into
Yep.
Florissant, dropped me off at Loveland and Melanphy. I walked a half mile from there to my grandparents' house.
You walked a half mile?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bus life.
Okay.
While I smoked while I did it, too.
Okay.
And then I approached my grandparents' door to knock on it and heard them bickering while watching television. So that was very comforting and nice.
I'm home.
But so I didn't do a transfer on a bus. I
Right.
transferred from different
The train.
modes
Yeah.
of transportation, but I haven't done the bus transfer yet. So I would like to learn that a little bit. But I also want to learn.
You're gonna learn the bus system over the
Yeah.
weekend. That's what happens when you stop drinking.
I also kind of
You
want
can borrow my pass if you want, dude.
Up next to the
Yeah.
Dewey Decimal
I should
System.
go. Do you mind if I tag along with you one day?
Absolutely. Come on. Yeah.
Gonna
Just
need
so I
that
could-
filmed, please.
Like, I would like to just figure out, like, I would like to know how Grand works. My understanding there's a bus that goes up and down Grand because I would like to be able to get to
After you
South
get kicked in the
Grand.
ribs
Yeah.
for one stop.
Well,
at South
I'd like to
Grand.
get to some of my food
That's
places.
I
the
don't-
70, and the 70 is a motherfucker. Let me tell you.
Does it? At what point do you feel? I mean, I know people who've been jumped and stuff off of the. At what point are you really keeping to yourself on a public bus in St. Louis, Missouri?
Me the entire time.
The entire
Honestly,
time?
I'm not. I can't. I've heard the experience people have had, but like I've hopped on a 11:30 bus from the Improv shop, drunk as hell, and
And it was fine?
and gotten home fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out the bus system a little more. I'd like to know more about it.
That's what you're going to spend your weekend doing.
Well, that's one option.
That's a good
We're here
partial
promoting-
use of the weekend. Yeah.
We're here promoting two different comedy shows, and you're like, I would rather learn how to transfer from one bus to the other one.
Well,
that's
to be
gonna be
fair,
my
I
day.
need to know how to transfer on the bus to be able to get to the comedy
go.
shows.
Let's
A
go.
fatal bus accident.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
8 o'clock
Oh, no.
tomorrow at the Improv.
The
Show.
irony.
That's how you learn about buses.
Gar-
I'm sure
Gardner,
they don't come up at all in the script.
What if I end up in a fatal bus accident going to fatal bus accident?
You're gonna wish you had gone to fatal bus accident instead.
That's been the show the entire time. That's been building up to Gardner dying on his first bus.
It's quite a promo. It's quite a promo he cut.
It wasn't a bear, but yeah, the bus will do.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll find something new to eat too.
I don't know. You'll be on the bus. It's better to be on the bus in a fatal bus accident because a bus is pretty big. You're probably not the one that died.
Yeah.
Have you seen Grey's Anatomy? People die
No.
in bus accidents like every 4
Yeah,
episodes.
they got hit by a bus. They're not on the bus.
The people on the bus live.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know on the bus like you actually had to pull the thing.
Well,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
So if
How
the
does that work?
Because so they have like the scheduled stops to make, but if the
Yeah.
driver's coming up to a stop and nobody's at the stop, they're gonna keep going. So
Yeah.
they want to stay ahead of schedule. So you gotta pull the cord. I always.
Is
pull
it
the
just
cord.
like hits a light and tells them stop?
Stop requested
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, in the,
Now
like,
do people just start pulling that to be dicks?
all the time.
Okay.
No, oh god, no. We've all got places to get.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Because you don't want to miss that transfer.
I just think
Because it's
humanity.
like not funny. Like you do it
It's
once.
not-
You do it once and you're like, oh, everyone's looking at me.
Yeah.
Because I got nervous once I realized that because I'm like, there's going to be nobody at the stop that I need to go to. So I started on my phone looking, okay, what's the stop before?
Yep.
So I know when to pull or else I'm going to miss this. And just so I started looking to kind of map out when I needed to pull.
Download the transit app because it has the live feed updates for like the bus.
Oh,
on route,
okay.
and it'll show you how many stops you have left until like you can just figure out which one is yours, and then a lot of times like they'll pass the one before yours because nobody's getting off of it. So as soon as they pass that stop, you just pull the cord and they'll know the next one.
Okay. I've made a commitment here recently to try and learn public transit.
Everybody should know how to use public transportation.
Especially in an urban area. I want to be able to have a little more of a command of that personally.
I don't think we have any video of this, but have you guys seen the short guy in the bagel shop?
Oh yeah.
So
I've
is
seen
this
the link.
a
I
bit?
haven't seen the video.
Here's
Is-
the thing. It's
is
this
that a
guy,
character?
It
Chris
feels
Morgan?
like a character. He's yelling at these women, and he says that women on dating sites say mean things about him because he's 5 foot, and he's yelling about it, and he just starts saying, "Oh, you want to go outside?" And he's taunting all these people. And the worst part of the video is this guy runs up and tackles him. Like this whole time, all these women, they could have teamed up and beat this guy's ass.
Yeah.
But they're like, it's not worth it. I don't care. And then this guy has no chill. It's like, you're worse than the guy that's screaming. Like,
Yes.
really? You're going to escalate this?
The
Like,
sounds like performative allyship, but
Yeah.
okay.
You're going to run in and tackle this guy? It's like, you're going to spend the rest of the day with a bruise on your face or your shoulder? Like, you're going to get a fight?
So do we think this guy's a ridiculous person, or is this a straight up character?
I think he's going to murder someone. I don't
You
know.
think so? Oh, you
Yeah,
think he's just an eccentric person who's being given some light?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just people were like, it kind of reminds me of like incel type people where it's like everyone's blaming me. It's like no one cares that you're short. They care that you're screaming.
Yeah.
in a bagel
It's like Mark Zuckerberg. It's not it's not because you're a dork. It's because you're an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
that's what's going on.
Well, he uses ads, as he told the senator, I believe. Isn't that how it works, Gardner?
Senator, we run ads.
I love that you have that ready.
How do you
That's so
how do you
fast.
monetize things?
I see.
Or in Hatch, by the way. Or in Hatch.
He just goes, I see.
I see. How do you make money? We sell ads. I see. That's what Congress was doing. At
No, y'all
That's
seen that video of
tax dollars
Congress?
hard at work.
There was I think they were like grilling Google and trying to figure out like now when there was these old ass centers like
Now, what's an analytic?
when I type in something into the Google search box, now is that going into a folder on your computer and you're monitoring what I do specifically? No, Senator, that's not what's
Basically, though, yeah.
happening. There's like a 5. Yeah.
Basically, yes. I mean, he's used all the wrong words, but like the concept is right.
I see.
It's like I've told
Sir,
before.
sir, you're going to need to turn your computer off and then turn it back on, Gardner.
I see.
It's like when my grandparents first got internet and wireless included.
Oh boy.
And I'm over there helping them,
Hoity-toity.
setting them up an email account and stuff like that. Grandpa sees the modem, the wireless router actually, like the flashing lights.
I also don't know the difference. It's
and,
fine.
and Grandpa looks at me and goes, "Oh, might want to check our email." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, it's flashing down there. I think that means we got an email."
Oh my God.
And I was like, "Oh no, this is going to be difficult to deal with." So I just try and handle it now. And now Grandpa, he calls me the other day, leaves me a voicemail. It's PCH time, Publishers Clearinghouse. They call me now every time to log them on to sign up for Publishers Clearinghouse. Part of their selling point is it's in perpetuity. It's $5,000 a month. So when we die, you can have the money. And I'm like, your selling point to me is your death. No, stop leaving me these messages.
Also, don't log into things because people called you.
PCH time.
That reminded me, the thing about the flashing lights. When I was little, my grandpa, he was like, I was playing Game Boy and there was the light on that signified that it was turned on.
Yeah.
And he's from he used to have a TV repair shop, and he was like, "Oh, how do you turn that light off? It's gonna run the battery down." And I'm like, "No, it's an LED. It's tiny." And he's like, "No, it's gonna waste the battery."
There are moments where you're like, "Oh."
I'm trying to think.
Okay.
Even though your grandparents are smart and everything, I remember going and so would have to do like labor in my spare time, right? Grandparents worked at a bank, worked their ass off, whatever, blah blah blah. But we'd do that. I'd be like, Grandpa, I can't do stuff on your farm or at any of the land or whatever this weekend. I have to go lift and do this basketball thing. He's like, if you worked more, you wouldn't have to lift weights. And that was his dead serious. I was like, I mean, I get it. And he's like, well, I have a point, So I always bring that up to him.
Yes, you're going to build some strength, and you're also going to get repetitive motion injuries.
Yeah, we'll say.
If you worked more, you wouldn't have to. But if I lift weights, I don't have to work in the sun. I can lift weights in the air conditioning. Pop,
that's,
pop. That's the difference.
They both end up with surgeries at some point.
I didn't mean to imply that they have air conditioning in Farmington. I'm
right.
sorry.
Someday.
Not
They might.
outside on the farm.
Right after you get the second stoplight, you'll get the air conditioning.
Right. Still working on that. A couple more shout outs to our friends at Getaway Carts. Customize your golf carts if you want to drive around Soulard neighborhood, the Hill, wherever you're going to have your cart, and have a good time at getawaycarts.com. You can customize without limits. Another great sponsor of We Are Live. So
Hashtag
Jeremy,
carte blanche.
what's that, sir?
Nothing.
Oh no, he was going to be like, do you really have a golf cart?
No, I was going to say that my parents, they live out in Fenton, and there's people in the neighborhood that have golf carts just like to go up to the pool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know you live kind of far back in the neighborhood, but also you could drive your car. Like, you have a golf cart just for the, 20 times in the summer.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
I 100%
You
would have a
go,
golf cart.
like maybe a half mile.
It's a power move.
It
I
is
think
a
it's a power
total
move.
flex. and
It's
I
one
love
thing
it.
if there were any if there's bars or restaurants or anything
Right.
nearby without getting onto a major road, and there
Yeah.
isn't. Like, you're in the neighborhood. You go to your friend's house 2 blocks down. I don't
Right.
know.
I don't. Do they live on a bluff? Because they're in Fenton. I feel like everybody
they're
lives
not
on
on
a
the
bluff.
bluffs.
No.
They're-
Okay. Gotcha. I was like, maybe they go cruising around on the.
You're just thinking of Gravois
You're
Bluffs.
thinking of
That's your.
Gravois.
That's
yeah,
all I
that's your
know of the Fenton area.
That's what you're picturing.
uh,
Swing arounds not too far away from there.
Oh man, is
Oh,
that
yeah.
still a thing?
Mhm. They were going to close it and turn it into a car dealership, and then they realized that that's a terrible idea. So,
Swing around's a bar?
Swing Around Fun Town. It's like batting cages and
mini golf.
Mini golf.
Okay, yeah.
36 holes of mini golf.
30.
I played in a mini golf
Go-karts.
tournament there once.
How did that go?
After the first day, I was the leader of the tournament. I holed out for a hole-in-one on my final. I went there 3 days in a row ahead of time and mapped out the entire course with a notebook.
Sober at this time?
No, actually.
okay.
I just really wanted to win.
All right.
The second day, I think people started fudging their scores and weren't being completely honest because I shot a really good round. And
Who would cheat at that? That's rude.
Yeah, there was money up for grabs.
Oh, okay.
I think I finished 10th or something, and I was disappointed actually because I'm like, I left a few shots out there, but I didn't leave a lot of shots out there.
Well, proud of you, sir. One more time for Fatal Bus Accident. The last show, again, $10 at the door. If you get your tickets ahead of time, you'll ensure that you'll be able to attend without it being sold out without you. Again, tomorrow, 8 o'clock at the Improv Shop in the Grove. Wonderful place to see a show. Jeremy, anything else you have coming up before we get out of here?
I've got that show tonight that Sam's on.
Yep.
Humor versus
Humor, 8
versus
o'clock at Heavy Anchor,
Mhm.
stand-up show, silent auction, and karaoke party.
Awesome.
And then I've got Sorry Please Continue. That's the last Wednesday of every month. It's a storytelling show. It's also
Great
a
show.
podcast.
Yeah.
We've released, I think, 98 episodes, and I think episode 100, I'm just going to find all of the stories that Rob T has told on the podcast.
Yes.
And then just release a 4-hour-long Rob T episode.
Hitler the dog?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that a thing?
There's 2 dogs in that story named Hitler.
Okay.
Oh, Rob.
Oh, Rob.
Shout out to Rob T. for
He has
real.
stories about stealing cars when he was younger, and it's so good.
It's absolutely is a very fun show. So big thanks to Jeremy for coming by. Thanks to Sam. Gardner, what are you looking at here?
I wanted to mention too, since we were mentioning things this weekend, and I forgot one thing that I am actually doing. I will be at Busch Stadium. For
Oh,
a
yeah, we
period
had
of
Jen
time.
Langosh on earlier this week.
Yeah, Join for Joe in honor of Joe Strauss, former St. Louis Post-Dispatch sports columnist. Their Be the Match will be there. They're looking for bone marrow donors, so you can come by, and I'll be at one of the tables helping you fill out paperwork, helping you do the swabbing, which takes just a few minutes if you like to get involved with Be the Match and be a potential bone marrow donor as well.
Since everyone's making themselves morally superior, I'd like to announce that
what
I
day
gave
is that?
blood this week on Wednesday, so I'm better than all of you in the room. So just wanted to get that out there. No, Saturday.
Congratulations. Oh,
Yeah.
Saturday, okay.
Saturday's the bone marrow thing. And again, big shout out to Jen
Because for a
Langosh.
second I was like, just show up at Busch Stadium. They might be there, they might not.
We'll take your marrow.
Knocking
Wait,
on the
right?
gates.
I give it right now?
What? That's a real 7th inning stretch.
That'll do it
That
for We
was
Are
a
Live
stretch.
today. Jeremy,
It's
great
me,
to have you
Tommy
back, man.
Musson.
It's an
Always
Ouroboros of stretches.
Always love having Jeremy on. We have to go see what Tommy's upset about. For Chris Gardner, Travis was ready to roll this morning. It was a stream issue, so he'll be back Monday. For Sam, for everybody else here, great show today. Check out midcoast.media for more information on what we do here at the Zach building for our company. See you guys later. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for having me.